Reinhardt Hamman, the F38 Gold medalist in Javelin at the recent Paralympics in Rio. Reinhardt, thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Good, thank you, Dan. Thanks for having me on the magazine again.
Well, it's an absolute privilege for us to be chatting to you because when we last spoke to you, you had recently qualified for the Paralympics, your first Paralympics. Let's talk a little bit about what changed after you got that phone call or that email saying that, listen, you're going to Rio Paralympics.
Well, I think a lot changed. I wouldn't say things changed much with training and diets and stuff like that, but everything changed mentally. So my emotional state and my emotional readiness for the competition, and that took a major change and a major step forward in my preparations for Rio. And I started seeing a sports psychologist, and it's just been a real blessing for me ever since.
Let's talk a little bit about that mental approach because, I mean, you got the call up, you know you're going to Rio Paralympics, and you know that you can physically do it. But now you're fighting the mental side. What sort of demons did you have to face? You know, like, was there anything that stood out?
Well, I think for me the biggest challenge was getting over my father's death. And obviously that's not a very easy thing for anybody to do, for any parent, for any child to lose a parent. But I think that was my biggest challenge, was to get over that. And, you know, I've competed against the rest of the guys in my class, the javelin throwers. I've competed against them for 2 to 3 years now, so I know what they like. I know when they peak, when they don't peak, or you know what's bothering them. So I think that, you know, going into Rio, I obviously didn't know what's going for what, and you kind of base it on world champs. And I know world champs quite well now. I've been to 2. So, you know, I went into it thinking, you know, this is just a bigger version of the world championships. And in one sense, I was very right, but in another sense, I was completely wrong. And, you know, it's such a massive occasion that your expectations of it is just not big enough to realize the enormity of the competition.
Just before you guys left for Rio, there was a send-off for Team SA. What was it like standing in a room with so many diverse athletes?
Yeah, it was a great experience, and you know, just to see all these guys that you've seen before on TV, it was just an incredible feeling to be amongst them.
Let's talk about when you landed in Rio. You know, you're in Brazil, you're in the land of Latino dancing, of coffee, and a few other illicit things that we can't talk about because of our viewers. But let's talk a little bit about that. What was it like stepping off the plane and getting into the Paralympic Village?
Yeah, getting off the plane at 4:30 in the morning, arriving at Rio de Janeiro airport, it was an amazing feeling, and you know, it was wonderful being back in Brazil for a third time.
Let's talk about the day of the throwing. You know, everything builds up to this one day. How did you feel on the day? Did everything go according to plan? Was there any emergencies you guys had to fix before you could get onto the athletics pitch and be able to do it?
Yeah, it was an interesting day. There was let's say an emergency. I've been battling with a knee injury, and we had to sort that out pretty fast before I had to throw. The competition itself was really amazing. I was in probably the worst pain of my life, but perseverance and dedication to the sport, I pushed through and took the gold medal.
Absolutely fantastic achievement, Reinhardt. As we end off, you're a Paralympic champion. You've achieved the greatest thing on the planet. Where from now?
The plan now is to start training in January. I'm still recovering from knee surgery. And the plan from now is go to London next year in July for World Champs, smash that world record I missed by 41 centimeters in Rio, and, you know, take my career from there and hopefully build and possibly retire in like 2034, which I'll be I think, almost 60 years old. It will make me feel like it. But, that's how far we'll go.
Reinhardt, now that you are a Paralympic champion, you're the best in the world at the moment, and for at least the next 4 years, you would have learned lessons. And in the last interview, we asked for a special message for the next generation of any athlete, any sort of athlete. Has your message changed, or is there anything to add to that message?
I think my message stays the same, but I do want to add is that don't ever walk into any competition, no matter what sporting code. Don't ever walk into that competition thinking you're just going to easily win that competition and you've got nothing to worry about. Go in there and earn that victory, earn the win, earn your best performance, and everything will happen for you. And that's the one thing I learned in Rio, is to earn that medal instead of expect it.
Well, Game On Magazine would like to take this opportunity to thank you so much for spending some time with us. It's an absolute privilege chatting to a Paralympic gold medalist, so thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.